Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 21 of my top 30 favorite title tracks of all time. We're counting down each and every day here this month in September in 2025. Hard to think and believe that at the end of this topic here this month, we will then be in October. Fall is here. Quickest summer on record, right? Quickest year on record. I don't know. For whatever reason, it seems like 2025 is just like a blip. It just kind of happens. It's like Thanos in the Avengers, right? The snap. It's just like bloop, all of a sudden the year is gone. Where to go? I don't know. But we're trudging along each and every day. So today for my pick number 21. God, it feels like I just talked about this song. And in actuality, I did. If you were watching In the Prague Seat last night, I did speak about this song. We spoke about this song. It comes from an album released June 4th, 1971, recorded at Vizian Studios and Fitzrovia Studios in London, England, produced by Greg Lake for Cotillion Records here in the States, Island Records in the UK. Was it Manticore? Was this actually a Manticore release? I don't know. But anyway, it's Tarkus from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Of course, takes up all of side one, 20-minute title track talking about the Tarkus baby, right? That's crazy creature. All right. Cool stuff there, right? So, of course, this is the band featuring Keith Emerson on all sorts of keyboards, most notably on this album, though, the Hammond organ, right? Although he does play regular acoustic piano, and he's playing the Moog modular synthesizer and the mini Moog on here. So we're starting to hear some of his explorations into the Moog, right, which would start to really culminate in the albums after this, right? But Greg Lake on vocals, bass guitar, a little bit of electric and acoustic guitar as well, and Carl Palmer on all sorts of drums and percussion, right? So this particular track, like I mentioned, it's 20 minutes and change, just under 21 minutes long. It's made up of 7 movements, right? Of course, we got Eruption, Stones of Years, Iconoclast, Mass, Manticore, Battlefield, and Aqua Tarkus. And, I mean, Eric Porter, I think, was the one last night in the Prague Seat show who said very correctly that the beginning, or was it Eric or was it Tom Curlis? I don't remember. Whoever brought it up said the whole beginning of the beginning of the song is just so awesome with the the drums and that percolating. That's what I always call parts of the song, like that Hammond organ is just percolating throughout this whole track. It's just so cool. But yeah, it's a massive achievement for an epic track. Not only because I think it flows really well, but it's so captivating just to hear this cat named Keith Emerson just absolutely doing his thing. To me, it's one of the great Hammond organ songs of all time because it's just filled with bombast and just amazing pyrotechnics that this guy is doing on the Hammond. And, the drumming is amazing. Greg Lake is doing some cool bass stuff. There's even like a weird little kind of bluesy electric guitar solo in here as well. And he's got some vocals, interspersed throughout the song. But it's funny because in re-listening to Tarkus, like in recent days, getting ready for the Prague Seat show, I hadn't listened to Tarkus in a while. It's been a while. I don't know how long, a year, 2 years, I don't remember. And I almost tend to forget there's actually vocals in Tarkus, right? It's just, to me, this song just stands out so well for just the blast of credibility from Keith Emerson that you forget like everything else that happens in this song. But it's amazing. Yeah, he's just doing some insane stuff here and, truly showing why he's one of the greats of all time. Whether you love his, acoustic piano playing, grand piano playing, or whether you love his Hammond playing or his amazing stuff on the Moog, the guy was an absolute genius. And I think he really just destroys everything in his path on this particular song. So it's very, very cool. Again, 20 minutes long, 20 minutes and change. An amazing, amazing title track. And from an album that to me has some other cool stuff, right? Bitches Crystal is amazing. Infinite Space, The Only Way, cool stuff. Time and a Place, right? You got Are You Ready, Eddie, and Jeremy Bender, right? Jeremy Bender's kind of ridiculous for me. But I think, unfortunately, all those other songs. Maybe Bitches Crystal is probably easily my favorite other song on the album, but I think that the title track kind of like overshadows everything else that's on here. It's one of the reasons why when I like rank my favorite ELP albums, Tarkus doesn't really come that close to the top, because I think that it's got the one great track, a couple really good tracks, and then a couple that are kind of like, okay. Whereas I think like the first album and Brain Salad Surgery and even Trilogy, I think to me are a little stronger start to finish. Just my opinion, right? But Tarkus is great. There was a point in time where I ranked Tarkus as my favorite ELP album strictly because of the title track. And then the more I thought about it as the years went by, I was kind of like, well, I don't really love the rest of the album nearly as much as I love the title track. So anyway, I'm getting off on a complete tangent here. So and as far as like where it sits on the album, it opens up the album, which is either great because it sets the tone for the rest of the album. It just knocks you on your ass right off the bat, or it overshadows everything else on the rest of the album, and it's almost like you don't need to listen to the rest of the album. No, that's not really true, but it's so good, it's so commanding and so powerful that it's almost like it makes the rest of the Tarkus album, inconsequential, right? It's like, oh yeah, and it's this song and everything else. So should they have put the other stuff first and saved this for last? I don't know. Because you want to make sure you listen to everything else. And like I said, I've been very guilty through the years of just listening to Tarkus and then be like, okay, that's it. I can move on to something else. This was a number 9 charting album here in the States. This made it to number 1 in the UK. And of course, this song was not released as a single, right? Because that doesn't work that way. Releasing 20-minute long epics. But Stones of Years was released as a single in September. So, but not Tarkus. And I don't think I've ever heard this on the radio, right? If you've heard lots of other ELP tracks on the radio, but not this one. So, but anyway, it's one of the greats in my opinion. So that's my pick for today. Tarkus from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the title track, the kickoff track, the MVP track of this album. Second full-length studio album from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, not including Pictures of an Exhibition, which was their second release, but that's a live album. So, yeah, let us know what you think of Tarkus down in the comments below for those of you who missed last night's In the Prog Seat episode featuring Tarkus and 4 other prog epics going to battle. Please check it out. It's up on the channel, posted last night. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon here with more stuff we got coming up this week. What is coming up this week? So, we've got Martin Popoff and myself at the Fun House, right, on Friday morning. We've got the Professor Picks Friday afternoon. We have the Review Crew on Saturday. It'll be just Jamie Laszlo and myself. We're going to do another little Rock Candy reissue recap. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking about some Rock Candy releases, and Jamie's been picking up a lot of them. Jamie hasn't had the pleasure of talking a lot of Rock Candy on SOT, and he's been buying just as much as the rest of us. So while I've been doing all these other shows featuring Rock Candy artists, Jamie has been chomping at the bit. So it's mostly going to be him just doing real quick round robin takes on a lot of the Rock Candy stuff that he's been getting. So if you're interested in all these cool reissues from yesteryear that Rock Candy's been putting out, join Jamie and myself. I'll be talking about some as well as also, but Jamie will be handling the brunt of this episode. So yeah, that's coming up on Saturday. And then, of course, we've got Ranking the Albums on Sunday. I will be joined by Grant Arthur, ranking the albums of Trillion. Very cool early 80s pop rock band, kind of like Styx and Angel and New England, that sort of thing, right? Pop rock. We'll be ranking the 3 albums there. And I will also be ranking the albums this weekend solo of the band Satin Whale. Very cool progressive rock band from the 70s, so stay tuned for that. They've got, 5 albums, I believe? Yes, so I will be ranking those. They're all in one set, so I'm going to be... I've always been looking forward to having a chance to talk about this cool box set, which has all their albums, and I'm just going to do a ranking the album show of them, so that's coming up also. So you got a double shot coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And more here on the channel. We've also got, which will be appearing tonight on the channel, Simon Bray, yes, our very own Bray Dog, went to the FM album release party for FM's brand new album. He went to the album release party over there in the UK, and he's got a video talking about everything that went down at that release party, as well as a review of the new album as well. So that's all coming up. That will be here on the channel tonight. So stay tuned for that. Join the Bray Dog for a little talk of the great UK melodic rock AOR band FM. Not to be confused with the Canadian progressive rock band from the 70s FM, right? So there's two different bands. So stay tuned for all of this and more here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.